Hi, everybody. It's Cassie Oberg from Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, and I am here today to teach something super fun. So, if you have never joined me for our Creative Cafe International event before, this is like a little sneak peek into what we do. It's a mini Hello, my name is Mat Class. It was designed by Lanita Medina, who is one of my co hosts, and super fun, and we have so much fun doing it together. And she made most of these mats, and then I finished off the rest and did a few tweaks of my own. And so I'm going to teach these today. And then feel free to go to our public page and check us out and see if it's something that you would enjoy. So I am going to go ahead and get started. This is a longer class, so I'm going to start off with what we're going to use. And then I feel like you guys could just do it right along with me when you decide to do it. And you can just pause whenever you need to along the way, which is what we also recommend when you're doing the other classes with us. So I'm going to get over here to my desktop. And let me know if there's any problems or anything, because I am recording this for people to be able to do whenever they want. I'm super, super, super excited. So this is just so cute. These are the mats for National Scrapbook Day, and they start off, one way, and then I'm going to show you things that you can do to decorate them and make them super cute. So we're going to do all of these mats today. And you're going to need, of course, a National Scrapbook Day mat pack. So that's your first thing you're going to need. You're going to need the large pack of embellishments and the small pack of embellishments. So all of those would have come in your customer bundle if you had purchased that, or you could get them individually, but you're going to need all of those. So we'll see these more up close whenever we actually design them. You're also going to need this super cute mushroom punch. So fun. And you're going to want your handheld hole punch. This is super fun. When it came out, I was like, what am I going to do with that? And now I'm doing all kinds of things. I used it last week on YouTube, and I'll probably be using it on many, many more YouTubes. You're going to need your corner rounder, and I'm going to teach you a little trick during the class. So if you happen to have any sticker sheet that has like an extra spot over here, and you'll understand when we get to that, you're going to want your lifter stick just because it's super easy to use. And of course, your multi-purpose tool, because you almost always need that. You're going to want your micro tip scissors, your repositionable tape, a bunch of foam squares. I'm going to be using up a bunch of leftovers that I found laying around. Of course, these amazing dot tip pens. If you have not gotten these, you don't want to miss out. It has many wonderful colors in here, and I'm going to be showing you different ways to use those. And then some scraps. So you want just any old scraps from National Scrapbook Day collection and some hot fudge scraps. And that's it. That's everything you'll need. So if you're doing this along with me, just gather those things, pause, go get them, whatever you need to do. So now we're going to get started. So this is the first one. It starts off like this, which is a perfectly fine mat. It's adorable, right? But let's talk about how we can make it better. So one of the things that my good friend Lanita taught me is organizing your embellishments ahead of time. So if you're going to organize them way in advance, using a little bit of repositional tape to hold them into place is a good idea. But if you're going to use them right away, then you can just have them laid out. But these are all organized, and I put all my flowers together. I put all my words together. I put all my animals together. And then over here, I have my ferns and my mushrooms. And what's nice about that is if you're doing a class along with an instructor, then it's a lot easier to find what you need quickly. So that's one of the reasons that you would want to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this first cute little one. So this one is going to first start off with creating these holes. Now, if you look, we don't have a hot fudge or a dark brown dot tip pen, but there's a fun way that you can make this work. So if you just take your handheld hole punch and you're just going to center it over top of the holes. So each hole, and you can just kind of look and see where it's going to be. And you only need to go down 4 of these, because we're going to cover the rest up with this cute little guy. And then this is where one of your hot fudge scraps is going to come into play. So you need it to cover those. So I'm just going to snip off. See how I just kind of laid it there and figured out about how big it's going to be. Forgot to bring my silicone mat over. I'm not going to run across the room for it because I can just clean off my table after. But silicone mat is my friend. But you're going to put it down there, not on here, because if you put the tape on here, it's going to show through the holes. So I put it down on my actual mat so that it didn't cling to the holes. And there we go. We've created the first little part of this. Now, the next thing that we need is this little cluster of mushrooms. So to get that, we just need another scrap. You don't need a lot of it because we're just going to harvest some mushrooms. So we're just going to go like this, punch us some mushrooms, and we're going to cut them out. Now you can decide how many mushrooms you want to put on. If you look at mine, I got rid of the big mushroom because I felt like he was taking up too much space. You're going to cover up the bottom, so it's not going to matter if you just kind of go like this and get him out of there. And then I cut this one off. I felt like that was too much mushroom. When I taught this class at my March event, some of my people kept the big mushroom in, and they were happy with that. So it's really a personal preference. There is no wrong way to do it. So now we just need some scraps. So I used some of these scraps. It could be anything that matches your National Scrapbook Day. It doesn't have to be this exact scraps. And then I harvested some heads. So I just put it in, and there we go. And then I just came in here like this. And you can do them all from one scrap, or you can do them from multiple scraps. It's totally up to you. I didn't get real picky here. I just cut those off quick because all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these little heads off. So there's one head. I'll round it over here on this side a little bit. Oh, I'm off camera, sorry. Round it over here. And then I'm going to come in here, and I want this one down here. So I'm just cutting it off and rounding it off so that I can put it onto here. And then I'm going to put the tape right down onto my mushrooms. I find is the easiest way. I'm going to take my cute little lifter stick. If you do not have a lifter stick, this one goes up here, then this is something that you're going to want to get. So it's going to go there and there. And then I want one more right there. Let's see. I'm going to use a different color. And you don't have to use a different color, personal preference. But I want that little head right there. And do make sure that whichever way you, like I had the mushroom up this, and I just kept it the same way. If I had flipped it, I would have wanted to flip my paper too. So just make sure that whatever you do it with both of them so that your little mushroom heads are going the right direction. So bring this over, and this little head's going to go right on here. Okay, so now I have a little mushroom cluster, and we're going to tape them down. And he's just going to go right about here. And now we have that. Okay, so now I need this fern because it's going to go underneath. I'm going to bring this over, and I just need these ferns. And all I didn't get too fancy here. I put the tape on it, and then I taped it down. I didn't need it to go all the way over, although you could if you want to. But you're going to cover up the bottom of those mushrooms, and then you're going to snip. Easy peasy. And then last step is we go to our cluster of animals, and I grab this cute little raccoon, and you could either pop him up or not. I didn't pop him up there, but I kind of like him popped. And so I'm going to put some foam squares. I'm a foam square user. I like lots of them. So I'm just going to stick them back here. And I'm not going to put them all the way over here on this edge because see, he's going to hang off a little bit. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't go all the way to the edge. So there we go. Lots of these little foam squares. I'll tell you what, the National Scrapbook Day collection was really made for me this year. I love animals, and I love to go out with a cup of coffee and just sit and breathe in my fresh country air and see them in the morning, especially if I take my puppies out. Of course, my puppies sometimes chase the animals, but that's okay. They don't catch them. They're well-fed puppies, so. Okay, so then we just put him down, and now we just need this in the upper corner. Now remember, I have all of my words clustered together, so easy peasy to find things. And this does not need popped because it is already a little puppy one from that little 4-pack for National Scrapbook Day. And I'm going to go ahead and put my tape right down onto here so I don't have to worry about how far that's going to hang off. I like to go with the easiest possible way to do things. And then the last thing that I did to this was, if you look closely, there are little microtip dots around here. So there's no wrong way to do this, guys. It is just however you want to do it. What's nice about this particular one is that since it's puffy, you can kind of put your pen up against the embellishment, and it kind of gives you a little stability while you're going around. But it just adds a little something to it. And voila, that is the first mat. So we'll put those aside. And we're going to come on to the next one. And I think that was probably the one that takes the longest of all of them, so that's why I started there. But now we're going to come over to our cluster of mushrooms. And so he's easy to grab. And I'm going to come over to my cluster of words. And so he's easy to grab. And that's all I'm going to need for this one. You could add the dots around the Explore too if you want. I did not, but it would also look super cute if you want that to pop. That's up to you. So, you know, feel free whenever you're taking a class. What's really fun is when you vary it just a little bit so that it's, you know, it's your personality. So feel free to do that. You learn techniques and then you kind of make it your own. And so, in fact, I'm going to show you one of the things that we did. One of my girls at the class added it to, Danielle, and that was super fun. And I was like, hey, everybody, do what Danielle did. So I love it whenever you're right in the middle of a class and somebody else does something and you're like, oh, let's add that in. So anyway, puffed these up. Oh, you know what? I'm going to add one more foam square here, guys, because I feel like if I don't put the foam squares in, then as people are looking through my album, if they touch it, it kind of collapses. So I try to get them all over the place. And then you're going to overlap so that you're overlapping these. And now we're going to take our microtip pen again. And things that you can do are add in 3 little dots. When you add in those 3 little dots, it just kind of gives it some character. And then, this is going to be hard to do on camera, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're just going to outline this little mushroom back here, because otherwise he kind of gets lost in the fray. So just give him a little definition, putting your dots on. And that's it for mat number 2. Moving right along. I can't wait to see who all does this with me. So, okay, so for this one, we're going to use some of these flowers. We're going to use some of these ferns. And we are going to use Life is an Adventure. Is anybody watching this along with me? I haven't gotten any chatter yet today. Anybody out there? That's what's always weird about teaching online, is you're teaching away, you're showing something, and you're like, But at least I already taught this class in person, and I know they loved it, so that makes me feel a little better. Okay, so I'm just foam squaring this one up. Not a big deal. And I'm using the little foam squares because that's what I had a million of left over. You know, there's no wrong. You could use the big ones. I like them to also be top and bottom. I just feel like it doesn't get crushed that way. So you're just going to put that down. See how I can push on it and it just stays up. Okay, so next we're going to harvest a little trio of flowers. So let's see. It doesn't matter which one, but if you do this one down here, see how it gave me full flowers? So I'm going to fussy cut, or as my friend Heidi calls it, thank you, hello back. If you fussy cut it, as my friend Heidi calls this, scissor therapy, then you just go around and you just cut right around the flower, smooth that out a little, and voila, we have the flower. Now back here, we have these ferns, and I just harvest those right off of here. So I'm going to pick 3 little ferns that we're going to use. So I'm going to go with these bigger ones down here. We're going to use some small ones later. There's lots of fun ferns in this pack. So, of course, somebody who's more of a flower person than me is probably going to be like, that's not a fern. I'm pretty sure it is, though, but I am not the plant things kind of a person. I love to look at them, but I'm not very good at keeping them alive. I'm really good with animals, though. So. Okay, so once we have this down, we are going to kind of lay this here so we know where it's going to be, and then we're going to take our ferns, and oh, actually, you know what I did? I foam squared this up first. That's what I did. Okay, so woohoo! I used up a sheet. That makes me happy. Next sheet. Let's see if I can use all of these during this class. Then I'll have less stuff in that little box. I'm making quite the mess of little squares over here to the side. Okay, so now we're going to put this down. And we are going to take our ferns and just tuck them in. So, tuck that one there. And if you decide one is too long, you can always go and you can trim it off a little. But again, there is no wrong way to do it. It's just cute. Okay, so there we go. We have mat number 2. You know what? I'm going to add some dots this time. I think it just needs some. Yeah, so whatever you're in the mood for. You could also put some little dots around this if you want to. Fun ways to do that. So that is mat number 3. Let's keep going. Okay, so we're going to take this and transform it to this. So there's a couple things we're going to do here. The first thing is this one. You're going to be looking for it. It's actually both of these. So you got to take both of these embellishments. So this cute one and this cute one. And you're just going to overlap them. And let's go ahead and put this down here. So I'm going to tape it onto here first. We're going to use the other half for something else. And that's important because during the class, when I taught it in person, somebody had cut too much of it off because they didn't know we were going to use some more later. So I just want to make sure you know we are going to use. So you're going to put it at whatever angle you want. I want my leaves kind of go in that direction. I'm going to make sure that I leave enough left over for my other one. I'm going to flip this, and then I'm just going to cut right here. And now this can get set aside for my other mat. Okay, so next up is doing this. So let's see, what did I do with that fern? You know, it's really nice when you get them all organized, but then when you start working, sometimes you just kind of throw them to the side. That is not wise. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to round this off because I just kind of cut it last time. So now it's rounded off. I'm going to tape it down. So it's going to come right up here. It's going to start right towards the bottom. Again, no wrong way to do this. bring it up to the top, and snip. Now I'm going to grab this nice three-dimensional flower. I am not going to puff it up because it's already nice and puffy. And tape it at the top. And then the final thing we're going to do is, if you have not used these pens yet, I highly recommend these pens. We're going to use the dot tip one. You can tell that it's dot tip because it has a clear top, and that is the dot tip side. And what's fun about the dot tip pens is if you push down a little bit, you get a little dot. And if you push down a lot, you get a big dot. So we're just going to come down and give these dots some color. Super fun. Okay, now we're going to just add a few little dots in here. I'm going to add extra dots. I'm in a dot mood, can you tell? Yes, it was fun to do it at Camp Hebron. Yes. And then you can do it at home too. Everybody can do this. Okay, and that's it. Let's keep going. I told you that first one was the hardest one. So now we are going to use the other half of our flower. It's just going to go right up here. And I pulled these and put them in the lineup just like this so that you didn't lose this. When I did it in person, we were at different tables and we had to keep passing the mats back and forth. So, okay, I'm going to just go over to my little supply of animals, and we're going to take this cute little hedgehog. Oh, you know what? I'm going to add this part first. So if you look really closely, let's see, get these both in frame. See how this one has a little bit more character to it? It's just because, voila, dot tip pens. They are our friend. Just took the dots and just chose a few that then I wanted to add a little more color to, and just added a little more color. And so again, no wrong way to do it. Just add a little on there, gives it a little bit more character, and it's super fun. And then I'm going to make sure that I don't put the dots on the mushroom, the foam on the mushroom, because the mushroom's going to be hanging off the page. And here we go. So anybody who follows my life knows that we have a 9-month-old Bernese mountain dog named Dee, and she is adorable. And just last Sunday, we got a call that there was a rescue 9-month-old Bernese mountain dog. So I never dreamed I would suddenly become, during the month that I'm going to be doing the most crazy stuff, become the mother of 2 cute little Bernese mountain dogs. But here I am living the life, and they are adorable, but they are so funny together. Okay, so now we're just going to add some color to these dots, just like we did before. So we called, the second one is Evie, so we are calling her E. So now we have D and E. So, oh, they are so fun. Okay, here we go. And next, this is so fun, so fun. So we are just going to take, and there's, let's see. I am going to flip mine this way. It really doesn't matter, but I really like, see how that one's kind of snipped off a little bit. I like that this one's whole, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can do it however you want, but I'm going to take and I'm going to snip it about here because we're going to cover it up. And we're going to add our tape, and down she goes. And I'm hanging it a little bit off the edge. And then I'm just going to grab this big puffy mushroom. Look at how great we're doing with these foam squares. Yes, so this morning, my husband let D and E out, and they were running around and being cute and playing. And then he called them, and they came because they're good little puppies. But they got to the door, and I kid you not, they looked at each other, and I think they giggled. If a puppy can giggle, these puppies giggled. And they got this mischievous look, and then off they ran back out to play some more. And my husband was so mad. He was like, they're not listening. And I said, they're puppies. Let them play. So he let them stay out in the rain for a little bit longer. And then they came back when he called the next time, and he was happy. And I'm like, don't get mad at them. Look how cute they are. A bad influence on these puppies, I'll tell you what. Okay, so there we go. Next up. Okay, so this one has a few little things to it. First of all, we need a flower, and you could pull a flower from here. I'm going to pull a flower from here. Again, no wrong way to do your flower, but if you want it exactly like mine, I just took this one over here on the side. Some of my people were like, I don't want to ruin that flower, and so they took one from here, and it turns out just fine too. There's no wrong. And we're just going to put this up here in the corner. And then we're going to grab, now this is a good idea. So this is fun. This is what Danielle did. And I just loved it. So cute. So she just took her pen, and actually I think she used the fine tip black pen. But any pen will do. And she just went around the outside. Look how nice and neat her dots are. I like the dots, but I'm a person who is not a perfectionist, and so sometimes mine are not as even as some of my girls. I decided that when I'm dead and gone, my kids are not going to look at the albums and go, Mom was not a perfectionist. Her dots are not even anywhere. So there we go. I just thought that was a fun little addition. I was like, look, everybody, do what Danielle's doing. Okay. Foam squares here. Pop this one up. Now this part, I wanted people to feel the difference between the dot tip and the non-dot tip. So if it does not have a clear cap, then that means that it is just a regular old round tip. And you can get a dot-like effect by pushing, but I had them do this because I wanted them to feel the difference. So when you get your pens, just play around with them because you can make things work, but they're going to just feel a little different. And the dots are a little bit different too, right? They don't blend quite as nice, but they're still cute. So there you go. That's all there is to that one. Oh, now this one's fun. Okay, so we're going to add this cute little fox. He's so adorable. After we lost my mom to ovarian cancer, I organized a 5K, which I did for the first 8 years after we lost her. And then I realized that I was going into a depth of despair every year. So I find other ways to fundraise for ovarian cancer and still support it. But anyway, the 5K was called the Foxtrot. So I think I'm going to go back and add some of these into those pages. In fact, I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't even scrapbooked those yet. I have all the pictures organized. It's just so hard. It's hard. Like, it was in memory of her, so I haven't scrapbooked those yet. So anyway, I will be able to put the fox on it. So that will be fun. My son dressed like a fox every year, so it will be super cute. Okay, so now we are just going to take these cute little flowers. And we need to harvest them. So we need a full orange one to go on top. So I'm just going to take this orange one. And we have a whole nother row of these. So don't worry, you can't mess it up because you got a whole another row of them. But we're just going to try to use up these ones. And that way we don't have to cut that one. You can save it for something else. Of course, don't save it too long, guys. I've seen so many people do this thing where they like have the special border or the special piece of paper, and it's so pretty, and they don't want to use it, right? Because it's so pretty. but then it's sitting there. And I'll tell you what, it's just not good to save stuff forever, because I know I'm talking about my mom a lot today. I don't know why, but I must be missing her. So anyway, she when she passed, I got this whole box of special bubble baths that my mom had saved away. And I thought to myself, oh, Mom, you should have used the bubble bath. So now whenever I get that way, I say to myself, use the bubble bath, Cassie, use the bubble bath. So, okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. See, it's broken there, but look, we're gonna snip it off. So I'm gonna tape this one down here. And I'm going to just snip it. And see how I just put the broken part off to the side? And that way we can snip it off. And look, now we have the perfect little flower over there. And now the same thing. Now what I do, there it is. It's hiding out on top of my fox. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this purple one. Okay. And then I'm just going to tape this right down here over top of this. And then the last thing, I'm going to, oh look, I'm going to use up another foam square sheet. Guys, this is exciting stuff. Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. Okay. There we go. Another cute little mask. I love it. We're almost done, guys. It gets easier and easier. So next up, we have this one where all we're going to do is take this embellishment and we are going to pop it up right over top of that embellishment. It just adds some cuteness to it, right? So fun. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to snip one of these in half to go right there. And if you do that right on your sheet, that's the easiest way to do that. There we go. Pull these off. And then just put it over top of that one. Bam. And then we're just going to add this down here to the corner. So trim out your orange one. It's going to be broken on one side and easy peasy because you're going to put it down there like that. And then you want some ferns. So let's take this. And this is just this tip. You're going to take this little tiny tip. I wonder if when home office designs these, if they think we're going to cut them all apart and do whatever we want. Okay, so I didn't put tape all the way to the edge because I'm going to take it off the sheet a little bit. And then I'm going to put tape onto my orange one. And I want this leaf to kind of stay a little. So I'm just going to go like this and then flip it over. And we're going to trim off this extra. And there we go. So cute. Okay. This one, also super simple. I've been going flower crazy. I'm going to have to cut into my second set of flowers. Okay, so this up here, I'm going to teach you some little stuff. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to corner around these corners. Now, the reason I told you to have this little pack here is because if you look at mine, my friend Lanita taught me this, you're going to want to peel back your sticker, which is so fun to do on camera. There we go. Peel back your sticker so that you have this corner. I'm not going to because I already have it on there. But peel that back, and then you're going to put it in here, and you're going to center it on the little X, And because it's sticky, because you peeled the thing back, then when you punch down, you're going to end up with a little sticky on there. And it's going to give you a way to center and measure things. And the reason why that's important for this is that you do not want to corner round all the way down on these edges, because this just has a little divot. So you want a little divot here. So you're going to go to the halfway point. And you can see that easily because you have this little white sticker in there. And that's going to help you with so many things. Like whenever you're scrapbooking and you're doing your pictures, it's just going to end up straighter because you can have a way to center it every single time. So there you go. Then we're going to take this follow your path. We're going to foam square it up. The last sheet of foam squares. I don't have to run out now. I don't mind having one sheet. It was the 3 partial sheets that was driving me crazy. I hate it when I do that because I can't find something, and so then I just grab another one quick, right? Anybody else do that? Anybody? Or is that just me? Okay. So this comes out like this. And then bam, this is going to go up here. Whoops, I might want to put it right side up. That would be super helpful. And now I'm going to add these flowers. So I'm going to start with a fresh set. And this one is going to get trimmed off a little bit. And so it's going to go on here like this. And I'm going to trim it. And now I just need an orange one. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this one. It's a full one. And then I'm going to tape it down on one side. Let's see. And then I took the other half of the foam square that I cut. And this went right underneath the leaf. And it kind of popped it up a little. So just a fun little thing. And then I added a little thing there. And then put the dot pin over here. Now on this one, it's kind of hidden. But like I said, there's no wrong. So just decide which direction you want your leaves to go. And then I took, and this one was where I really showed them how the difference was between the dot tip pens, because we did some dots with this. And then we added some more dots with this. Ah, I love the dots. I love the actual dot tip pens. We need all the colors in dots. And then we just added that. You can add a few little dots to it if you want, and bam. Okay, this one, the next two are so simple, it's not even funny. So we're just gonna take this cute little puffy fox, and we're gonna tape them down. It's going to come off the page a little bit, or off the mat a little bit. And then we are going to take these pretty, that was gone, handy back up right here. And we are just going to add this right in here. And then if you want to, you can put a few little dots in here. I'm going to put a few more up here. Maybe a few there. There we go. And we have another cute mat. And the last one, guys, this is the hardest one. Are you ready? Are you ready? We are going to take this and we're going to tape it down right here. But look how cute that is. Bam. And that's it. That is the National Scrapbook Day Mat Class. I hope that you enjoyed this. And hopefully you can just work right along and do it too. And if you love this mat class, you're really going to want to register for the Creative Cafe International events, because we do this and so much more. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great day.